Hey guys, it's Joe. Good afternoon. I am joined by Alex B. Smith, co-host of the Ice Guys, sports handicapper for Against the Numbers. Alex, welcome to the show. How's the day treating you so far on this beautiful Friday?
It's been nice. This has been a fun week. I had my birthday on Wednesday, and I got to hang out and do a bunch of fun stuff. Watched the game last night. Just incredible performance by Tampa Bay, finding a way to not only climb back in the series, but now take the lead and be one game away from possibly a third straight finals appearance. It's just absolutely remarkable. And so now we're getting ready for Game 6 tomorrow. So it's been a nice week, and it's been a fun Friday. I'm glad to be back on with you again.
I'm glad to have you here too. Let's get back. What'd you do for the birthday celebrations, Alex?
It was pretty. I mean, subdued. I turned 33, so it's not a humongous a milestone birthday. Had some dinner with some friends, bounced around, had a few drinks with the people at the bars here in St. Paul. So there's like a stretch, basically 7th Street, where if for those of you who've ever been to a Minnesota Wild game, Xcel Energy Center, right in downtown, that's the main hub where that's on. So I live 2 blocks from there and just kind of hopped around all the bars in that area. So it was a really good time, and like I said, just celebrating another year around the sun.
Nice. I love it. And I definitely think 33 is a milestone. I love the 11s, 22s, 33s, 44s, all the way through. So congratulations. Lucky year for you here hitting 33.
Nice. Hey, hoping so. Hoping to have some good luck with another 22. So 2022 turning 33. Hopefully that luck might come through.
Absolutely, it's going to. Okay, so I'm guessing you were riding the Tampa Bay Lightning in that last game. Is it over and done for the Rangers now?
I'm afraid so. I mean, the Lightning seemed to be out, dead in the water at the beginning of this series, and it made total sense. It wasn't the most shocking thing if we saw Tampa just kind of fold in 4 or 5 games. The amount of hockey they've played, not just the fact that they've gone back to back and winning championships, but the circumstances they've done it under. You had the bubble in 2020. You had the season cut off and had to resume out of nowhere. Basically, what 4 or 5 months in between. Then they turn around, play a 56 game condensed schedule, and then have to run through the playoff format again. At that time with travel, be it no fans for most of the situations, and now to go through an 82 game season, and there were some delays with that, of course, as well, and of course rescheduling, of course, with February with no Olympics, and you had the break at the holiday with COVID. All these factors that they had to deal with that other teams, you think about the last three-peat team and the Islanders in the 80s. They didn't have to deal with anything like this. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Red Wings, last teams to win back-to-back before Tampa, they didn't have to deal with anything like this. So I've said it before. Even if Tampa wins the series and they don't win the cup again, this is the greatest 3-year run we've seen from any sports team in my eyes. And that's coming from a Bulls fan who's seen 2 3-peats. And like I said, knowing the history of the game, it's just what they had to do to accomplish even just getting where they are now. It's remarkable for any sport. But with those extra circumstances, kudos to Tampa Bay for just even being in the position right now, 1 game away from another finals appearance.
Yeah, we absolutely have to tip our hats to them. Looking at the Stanley Cup Finals, we know the Colorado Avalanche have such an extended time period off here. What were your thoughts on them getting the sweep over the Edmonton Oilers, and what are your thoughts with this rest?
Well, I think for them it's a good thing. Although I said this about Tampa Bay too, because they had guys banged up. I thought with Colorado, I think they could use the rest. Obviously, the biggest key right now is going to be Nazem Kadri, who he had the thumb surgery. They said he was going to be out for the remainder of the playoffs. Then they came back and backtracked and said maybe he could be ready to play if it goes past 4 games, if this goes deeper into the series. Darcy Kemper, who we saw have that eye injury at the beginning round against Nashville. He had some complications from that took him out. That's what Pablo Francouz came in and did a great job in the sweep. But he did look a little bit shaky in that game 4. And now Jared Bednar's got to figure out, who am I going to roll with moving forward? If Kemper's going to be healthy with these days off, Francouz looked good, but like I said, was a little bit shakier in game 4 than he was in the previous starts. So now he's got to figure that out. He's got time to figure it out. And obviously, if Kemper is healthy, even if he's the backup, that's still a great spot for Colorado, because it's always better to have 2 goalies that are working well than 1. We've seen that through the postseason, and that's the case for them. So I think this is going to be more of an advantageous rest for Colorado than it may have been for Tampa Bay at the beginning of this series just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I love your outlook on that. Now, looking ahead to the Stanley Cup Finals, we know the goaltending issues for Colorado is probably their weakest point against Tampa or the Rangers. We're pretty sure it's going to be Tampa moving through, but Tampa definitely has the better goalie in this situation. Does that worry you at all for the Colorado Avalanche?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. Andre Vasilevsky, like I said, this guy has already put up numbers well enough to where he could be a Hall of Famer right now. I mean, he's won 2 Stanley Cups. The record that he has in closeout games, just in the last 7 games alone, he's had 6 shutouts, and then the other game was just 1 goal allowed. He's just been absolutely masterful in these big time games, and to do that and only be in the league 7 years, really only be the starter for the last 4 years. It's truly incredible. So that is a humongous X factor for Tampa Bay. Should they advance and play Colorado, like I said, they have the stronger goaltending. Now, everything else on paper kind of adds up a little bit. I mean, Tampa obviously has the experience edge of this back-to-back champions. Colorado doesn't. This is Colorado's first time just getting out of the conference final in over 20 years. So you got a ton of talent, ton of offense and speed on both ends. Colorado likes to press the pace a little bit more than Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay can adjust to any style that you want to throw at them. So, like I said, it all really kind of comes down to that goaltending and the coaching factor as well. Bednar's a decent coach, but compared to John Cooper, I would give John Cooper the big edge, especially with making changes, not just in games, but of course, we talked about that big streak off of the loss. Cooper and his squad, they are able to make adjustments, and that's the mark of a champion.
Yeah, those adjustments are so necessary game in and game out. Okay, so the question is, if Tampa moves through, who hoists the cup?
It's going to be a tough battle, but I do think if Tampa finds a way to get in, I think Tampa finds a way to beat Colorado as well. And like I said, they can kind of almost adjust themselves to saying, hey, we didn't get off to a good start last series in game 1 when we came off of the rest. Yeah. Maybe they can use that to their advantage to try and catch Colorado sleeping in that game 1. That would be a huge boost for them if they can obviously get that first win under their belt. And the fact that they've had some momentum riding in, they're only going to be resting probably about 6 or 7 days if they wrap it up tomorrow in game 6. So it'll be a much longer layoff for Colorado, and maybe Tampa can jump on them early and get things rolling. I actually have a futures bet for Tampa to beat Colorado. I made this is right before the conference final started. Tampa to beat Colorado in the final at plus 415. So I'm really, really excited now to see Tampa making this comeback. I already had a series play on Tampa that I'm hoping to cash as well. So if Tampa can win game 6 on Saturday and like I said, and then get a good jump on and win game 1, I'll be sitting pretty nice right now. And then I could maybe even make a hedge and take the opposite side for the series and just kind of lock in some kind of profit, or I can just kind of go game by game. So Tampa's been really they've been wonders for me this postseason. Of course, I hit that 7-1 ticket with them to sweep Florida in the last round, and I was able to cash some in-game wagers with them all year. I actually had in-game when the game was tied 1-1. I had Tampa even money to win the game in game 5, so they cashed that one. Didn't think it was going to be regulation. I thought they'd have to go into OT to win that one with how tight it was, but. From a fan standpoint, it's been amazing to see this run. From a betting standpoint, it's been really fun the last couple of years riding Tampa Bay. So I'm hoping to continue that and see them win their 3rd cup, which would be absolutely historic.
Yeah, it would be. Definitely been money makers for us. Now, looking at tomorrow's game, I have to know, what are you going to do here? We've got Tampa coming in as huge favorites of minus 184. I can't get there on that money line, but do you trust them on the puck line with the New York Rangers just fighting for their lives?
I do, and that's something I did, like I said, in the last series with Florida. I had that series price, but people were like, "Oh, you're going to hedge?" I mean, no, I didn't. If anything, I doubled and tripled down because I had Tampa money line and puck line in that game 4. So I'm going to go puck line again, laying 1.5 at plus 160. You can find plus 155 to plus 160 if you shop around. Like I said, Vasilevsky in closeout games is just it's been masterful performance after masterful performance. And the thing is, with the Rangers, their offense, they get a little kind of skittish. They grip the sticks a little too tight. You can't afford to do that against Vasilevsky. You have to keep pressing him. If you let him get comfortable early in game 6, he's going to turn into a stone wall, and you're not going to get much of anything past him in these situations. And also, what we saw late in game 5 after the goal scored by Palat, you saw, Rangers pull their goalie right away. You're going to have probably good 4 or 5 minutes of empty net time if Tampa has a lead late in the 3rd period. So that's why I feel comfortable enough laying the puck line here. I also will be going with the 3rd period over, more than likely looking at 2 at even money or plus $1.05. We've been seeing that cash left and right in these elimination games. All you need, even Rangers get a goal early, and then Tampa can get one later on in the period. Tampa gets two. Any combination of two, you can see. And really, whatever situation you go into, even if the Rangers are winning this game, you still might end up seeing a couple goals late because Tampa's going to have that desperation, mode on their side. So game 6s, game 7s, that's usually kind of been the old hat for me. Just go with the third period over.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic game here tomorrow night, Alex. I want to wish you all the best in all of your bets. Can you let everyone know where they can follow you and where they can get your best premium picks as well?
Yeah, you follow me on Twitter at AXSmithSports. You can find me at againstthenumber.com. You also go to AXSmithSports.com. And if you go on my Twitter page right now, you can get the rest of my NHL package for $40. That also includes anything else that I bet. So if I have UFC coming up in the next few weeks, which I will now be getting more into the UFC and boxing now that it's summertime and hockey's kind of winding down. So $40, just find that on the top of my Twitter page and follow me on Twitter at AXSmithSports.
Alex, keep crushing it. Thank you so much for joining me again on the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. Can't wait to have you again.
Sounds good, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.